Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'll be talking about working while studying in the UK. This video is for all of the students who are looking to work part-time when they're studying in the UK, whether it be international students or you are, students from the UK. So I will just share some general tips which I have found useful when you're applying for part-time jobs in the UK. Sometimes it does get hard for people to find some part-time job, rather it be because of their skills, rather it be because a lot of people are applying for part-time jobs, especially students when they come to the UK. So in this video, I will share some general tips which might help you to secure a part-time job in the UK. So without any further delay, let's begin the video. First of all, let's talk about why someone would want to do a part-time job when they're in the UK. When you apply for a student visa, you are generally asked to provide proof of fund, which is basically your fees plus your living expenses in the UK. So technically, in one way, you don't need a part-time job because you should have the money. But UK government does allow you to work part-time for up to 20 hours when you are studying. When you don't have any uni and you are on official holiday or you have graduated, then you can work full-time, and then you can also apply for post-study visa where you can work as much as you want. But working as part-time can be really great for students, to support themselves. It can afford their extra expenses if they have some. They are not bringing that much money into the UK. If they want to save the money back home, which they have shown as a part of the visa application, then they can do that as well. Then they can support themselves from the part-time work. It can be really great to pay for, other expenses such as, if you want to go out, if you want to, eat outside a lot, if you want to afford any fancy equipments, fancy tech, fancy clothes, anything like that. So part-time job can be really great for that purposes as well. And it can also help you gain that experience if you are doing that part-time job in your field. Then you'll have a good CV when you graduate. Then working as a part-time can help you to meet new people, to go out with them, develop new skills, and again, make friends for life. So these are the things which can be benefited from, doing a part-time job. Now, if we talk about part-time job for, students from the UK, you don't have any restrictions. You can do whatever you want. If you want to work as self-employed, you can do that. If you want to work as somewhere in construction, you can do that. If you want to work in retail, you can do that. So there's no, restrictions in terms of what you can do, and there's no restrictions in terms of hours you want to do. If you want, you can work full-time and, don't attend classes that much. Just submit your assignments on time and then you'll still be fine. But for international students, there's a limit of 20 hours per week, and there are some limits on the type of work you can do. In the description, I will put a link from UKVI website which will tell you the jobs you can and cannot do. But as a basic summary, you cannot work as a self-employed. You cannot work more than 20 hours. So basically, you should be working somewhere where you're getting paid hourly. So you can work 20 hours per week, and then if you are working hourly, you'll get a minimum wage, and based on that, you can easily earn around 700 and above if you're doing that much work. So it can be a really great way you can earn some extra money. If you're doing masters, your course is till September, and usually after the second semester, after May, you don't have any classes. You only have your dissertation due in September, but you cannot work more than 20 hours because technically you are still in your third semester. There's no official break for you, so you can only work 20 hours by then. And after submitting your dissertation, your university will have an official end date for you. You can go to your student hub, you can go to your university and ask them for that official end date, and after that end date, you can submit that letter to your employer, and then you will be able to work more than 20 hours. Especially it will be nice when you don't have any uni work or any other things. Then you can put all your time and effort into doing that job. Now let's talk about some of the best places you can work. If you are a new student in the UK, I will recommend you that you apply for jobs everywhere you can find. If you have any priority that I want to apply in certain jobs first, if I don't get any response from there, then you can apply it to the other jobs which you are not that excited about. Personally, in terms of my own experience working in the UK, the best jobs, part-time jobs you can find in the UK are mostly in retail sector. So basically all the shops you have where you can buy clothes, shoes, maybe groceries as well sometimes. So those kind of places are really nice to work in. Then you have other places where you can work which usually include food, like fast food restaurants. Then you have your classic typical restaurants where you can work as a waiter, or you can work as a cook or as a helper in the kitchen. So these kind of jobs are secondary priority for me personally. I like working in retail. It's more fun. It's not as stressful as it can be in some fast food places or restaurants in general. But then again, this is my personal opinion. Some people can really enjoy working in restaurants and fast food places because it is something that they find comfortable doing. So it usually depends on person to person. You can imagine yourself working in that place, and if that thing excites you, then I'll recommend that you apply in those places first. And again, if you are new, if you see there are very less jobs, then I'll suggest you that you apply everywhere and do not worry about the market first. Once you get a job, once you have started working, then you can keep looking for jobs if you don't like where you work. If you like where you work, then it's fine. But then again, once you get a job, then you will have experience, then you can apply for more places during either Christmas time or during Easter time, so you'll still make some money rather than just waiting for some idle part-time job. One of the good things about working in a restaurant or in a food place in general is that you get tips. So tips can easily be anywhere between 10 to 50 pounds per week. I have not that much experience in that area, but I have heard this from my friends over the years who have worked in restaurants. So if you want extra money on top of the minimum wage you are getting, then you can work in a restaurant. Now I will share some tips for you as an international student or a student in general, which can help you to secure your part-time job. And the first thing is update your CV. Now this will sound like, okay, yeah, of course we'll need a CV, but update your CV means that if you have any fancy CV or if you have a very long CV, I will recommend you to trim it down. Your CV should be max to max 1 to 2 PDF pages. It shouldn't have any photos on them unless you're applying for creative jobs, and that jobs are usually not available for part-time. So if you're looking for any basic part-time jobs, then I'll recommend you update your CV accordingly. You should have your past experience, your education and things like that, your contact information included. Your CV should not be very graphically involved, because I've heard that in UK the big companies use some kind of software. So when you upload your CV, when you're filling the application, most of the CVs are rejected by the software because it includes lots of white spaces, it includes your photo. So if you have any confusion about the CV, you can use one of the online templates. You just have to edit the template and you can fill it accordingly. If you want, I can show you how to make your CV. If you want that kind of videos, just tell me in the comment section. If I get enough requests, I'll make that video. So this is one of the first thing you should do. So be careful around the CV you already have, and I will recommend that you make a new CV for the part-time jobs you will apply in the UK. Second thing is make personalized cover letters for the job. So if you're applying for any part-time jobs and there's a section to fill the cover letter, or if there's a section where you have to write additional information, I'll recommend you write cover letters using the keywords which are given in the job description. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can kind of use ChatGPT. For me personally, I'll say you're not applying for your proper career job. You probably wouldn't want to stay in that same part-time job forever. Putting too much time and effort in those kind of part-time jobs kind of is not worth it. This is my personal perspective, and I'll recommend, if you want, you can use ChatGPT. You can easily give it the job description and ask it to write a cover letter. You can tell about your experience, you can tell about the job description, then you can ask it to write a personal cover letter for you for each and every job. This way you can apply for loads of jobs without wasting too much time. And I will obviously not recommend you to just copy paste the cover letter you get from ChatGPT. I will recommend that you use it as a guide and then you make adjustment accordingly, and it can help you to remove some grammatical mistakes, and it can help you to put those keywords which are in the job description into your cover letter, and that can help you stand out from rest of the participants. Now let's move on to the third tip, which I will suggest is you apply for part-time jobs before even coming to the university. So you can start applying for jobs on Indeed, on LinkedIn. You can select your city wherever you are going for the university, and start looking for jobs. What kind of jobs are there? You can start applying for jobs. I'll suggest 1 to 2 weeks in advance before your flight, and then by the time you'll get here, you'll get an interview, and then as soon as you come here, you can apply for national insurance number, which usually takes 1 week to arrive. And by the time you'll go through all the process, you'll probably have a part-time job with all the documents required present, and then you can start straight away as soon as you come to the UK. But this tip is only for the people who are actively looking to work part-time in the UK. If you're not sure if you want to work, if you have enough fund, and then you think you won't need part-time job for like first couple of months, then it's fine. Then you don't need to apply for jobs before coming to the UK. Especially if you come to the UK in September, you will have a loads of job opportunity during the Christmas period. So I'll suggest start applying from October. And especially if you apply for jobs before Black Friday, there's a very high chance that you'll get a part-time job somewhere, and then you'll be working during Christmas as well, which you can work full-time because of the official break, and it's one of the busiest time as well, and you'll get more hours, and then you'll probably be able to make good amount of money during those breaks. So it just depends on your personal circumstances. If you want to work part-time straight away, then I'll suggest you apply for the jobs before coming to the UK. But if you want to come to the UK first, see how everything goes, you want to settle in, you need some time for that, so that is fine as well. You can apply for jobs later. Just make sure you apply for jobs before Black Friday, or if not Black Friday, then before Christmas, because after Christmas it is very hard to find part-time jobs before summer, because it's one of the quietest period after Christmas. People don't have money, they don't shop that much. So make sure if you need a part-time job for the whole year, you apply before Black Friday. So now let's move on to the fourth tip, which I will suggest is you explore the campus job facility. So basically, wherever you go to the university, there will be different shops, different kind of facilities around your campus, and usually those facilities are run by staff members from the university with the help of the students. So these students can be anywhere from first year to third year to master's students. They're usually working part-time to earn extra money. So working on campus can be really great for some people, because when you work for your campus, when you work for your university, they're very flexible around your studies, because they understand you are a a student there. It is very nice as well because you get to meet loads of different students. You know all of the people who are coming to either, you know, a restaurant you're working in, or if you're working in library, if you're working in accommodation, you know, all of the students are from, you know, your university. You can talk to them, you can help them in certain ways, especially if you have faced certain situations by yourself. If you get a campus job, most of the time, if you get the campus job, for example, in first year, you'll still have the job in second and third year. So it's one of the best ways to, you know, have a secure part-time job for your university period. Obviously, when you work in campus, there are certain things which you have to consider. For example, during term time, the campus will be open, but during, you know, Christmas period, Easter period, and, you know, summer holidays, there can be facilities which are closed during that time. And if you work in one of those facilities, you might not have a part-time jobs where you can actually work more than 20 hours if you're an international student, or you have to find you know, another jobs which can be a bit hectic. So this is the only drawback of working on campus. However, if you are looking for part-time jobs, but if you're not fussed about, you know, money that much, then working on campus can be really great because you do earn, because you do work certain hours and then you get certain amount of money. But then you also have your, you know, Christmas break and everything where you can just enjoy, you can go back home. If you're working part-time jobs in retail, there is very less chance that you'll be able to get a holiday during the Christmas period. But if you are someone who wants to go back to, you know, your home country during Christmas period and things like that, so this can be a really great way because then you don't have to worry about all the holidays and everything like that. And, you know, working on campus is very different than working on retail. It is very chill in a way, it's not that stressful. So working on campus can be really great for some people, and if you're one of those people, I'll recommend you start applying for campus jobs before coming to the university. Go to your university portal, there'll be some sort of campus job available. You can easily just Google campus job and your university name, and there'll be some you know, website where you can see what kind of jobs they have. Then you can apply from your home before coming to the UK. Then because they are looking for someone who can start in September when all the students come to the uni, till all the way till summer. And if you're doing your third and second year there, so they would want you to, you know, start in September and end in summer. So if campus job is something which you find interesting, then, you know, I'll say go for it. The fifth tip which I want to share with you is in terms of the hours you put as, you know, available when you are applying for different retail or, you know, different part-time jobs. Because most of the people, when they apply for part-time jobs, there's a section usually which asks you about your availability, and what student have to do is, you know, obviously you want to put the days you have university as unavailable because you need to attend your classes, because you need to have, you know, a certain percentage of attendance as a part of your student visa. So make sure you're putting those days as unavailable. However, there are some people, what they will do is they will say, for example, they only have classes Tuesday and Wednesday. So what they will do is they will put Monday, Thursday and Friday as available, and then they will have weekend off, which means they can only work like Monday, Thursday and Friday. And the reason why they do this is they think if they can only work 20 hours, they think they can do those hours on Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and then they can have the weekend off, which is possible in one way. And personally, I think that way is only if you start, you know, working somewhere. So basically what I mean is when you apply for job, put your availability as you're completely available apart from the days you have university. When you start working there, when you have, you know, built some kind of like relationship with the managers, with the colleagues, then you can probably request them that you would want one day of weekend off, because in retail the Friday, Saturday and Sunday are one of the busiest days, and they would want everyone to be available during those days. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will get, you know, work every single Saturday, every single Friday, but you know, when you start working in a new place, they would want you to work as much as you can, like 20 hours max, and then they would want it to be on one of the busiest period. So basically, if you start selecting weekend off and you apply for some jobs, everyone can see your availability, and there are some softwares which, you know, can filter out the applicants who are available over the weekend and who are not. And most of the time this can harm your part-time application. So the whole point of this is to, you know, give you the maximum chance to get an interview and get a job. And once you have the job, then it's up to you how flexible you are and how, you know, understanding your managers can be. And then if you want, you can request them that you don't want to work weekend. So it completely depends on the company you're working for, how you are working, and how flexible everyone can be in your workplace. Now let's move on to the tip number 6. So this tip is you should include fire alarm. Sorry about that. So that was a fire alarm. I mean, I could have edited that out of the video, but I did wanted to show you that in, you know, any accommodations, fire alarm can go off randomly. Anyway, let's move on to the tip number 6, which is you should work on your English. So personally, I believe that learning a language is not something you achieve and then you are done. Learning any language is like a continuous process. It's always a work in progress. You always, learn something new. You always improve your, the way you pronounce things, the way you say things, and it does comes with a lot of benefits, because the better command you have over your language, it helps you in other things as well. For example, your studies, your social group, and the place where you're working part-time. So if you will keep working on your English, it will just improve you as a person overall. And I'm not saying that you should take English as a benchmark for intelligence, but if you are coming to a different country where you have to give an English test, where you have to give a proof that you know English, you understand English, you can write it, you can read it, so living in that country, you should actually have a good command over your language. Loads of fire alarm again. No idea what's going on. So when you go for your part-time job interviews, when you talk to customers in retail, your English language will help you to interact with them more. It will help you to interact with customers more. It will help you to achieve your targets at work. And there are certain advantages. As you work in part-time jobs, you'll have more traction with customers, your colleagues, and overall you will develop as a person. Now, another tip which I want to share is that if you're struggling to find jobs when you're applying online, if you're applying on LinkedIn, or you're applying on Indeed, there's another way you can find jobs is you attend job fairs. So in your university, there might be a job fair organized by student union or different communities. There can be different job fairs around the city as well. So usually these job fairs are free. You just have to register online, just show them your ticket at the door, and then you can just go in, talk to different brands, talk to different companies who might be looking to hire, who might be looking for people to work part-time. However, these kind of job fairs are usually used by people who are looking to work full-time. So if you have almost finished your university and you are looking for some full-time jobs, then you can attend these job fairs. However, they can still be beneficial if you're looking for part-time jobs, because there might be someone who is looking for some part-time work anywhere, or there might be someone who knows someone who is looking for some part-time work. So job fairs are a great way to meet different people and build your connection. Now, these were all of my tips regarding working as a student in the UK. If you have any questions regarding any jobs, if you want any tips regarding anything, for example making a cover letter, making a CV, or anything like that, just write down a comment and I'll try to make those videos as soon as possible. And if I have enough requests, that will be my #1 priority. So hopefully you would have learned something from this video. If you liked this video, just hit the like button. If you want to see more content regarding the life in the UK and overall in general, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. If you want to check out some other videos, it will be coming on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.